Some quick definitions before we get started. Anthropomorphism. The showing or treating of animals, gods, and objects as if they are human in appearance, character, or behavior. Speciesism. The idea that one species, especially human beings, is more important and should have more rights than another. Alright, let's get into today's video. Do wildlife documentaries do more harm than good? When addressing this research question this semester for uni for BCM 312, I found that there are two sides to every story, including this one. Some suggest that wildlife documentaries harm the natural world and its inhabitants, putting unwanted attention and encouraging human intervention on its film subjects, whilst others feel that they educate audiences and provide an insight into a natural world that many wouldn't otherwise see or be educated on. This leads me to my first point of view: animals' rights to privacy. When looking at wildlife filmmaking and its pros and cons, it was clear that there is a grey area on how to ethically film animals and the practices surrounding that. However, one question posed by Brett Mills, the question constantly posed by wildlife documentaries, is how animals should be filmed. They never engage with the debate as to whether animals should be filmed at all. He further suggests that animals behave differently in a public space and a private space, stating that we can never really know if animals are giving consent, but they do often engage in forms of behaviour which suggest they'd rather not encounter humans, and we might want to think about equating this with a desire for privacy. Being a regular wildlife documentary viewer, I began reflecting on the films I've seen and the various intimate scenes of animals I've watched in doing so. I began re-evaluating my perspective of wildlife documentaries. Animals' rights to privacy become increasingly concerning when looking at the innovation of film technology, which enables film crews to capture animals in new ways and without them knowing. As technology progresses and the new innovative ways are created to film animals without their knowledge becomes increasingly concerning in regards to animals' rights to privacy. Another red flag for film documentaries is the inaccurate portrayals of the animals featured and staged, shots that lead the audience believe its natural occurrences and behavioural patterns. Filmmakers mislead their audiences with staged shots of animals in man-made burrows, homes, and inaccurate representations of animals in their natural habitat. This leads me to my final topic I want to discuss, which is human intervention into nature. When looking at human intervention into nature, I looked at anthropomorphism and how that affected zoo trade on popular animals, as discussed by Dr. Nicola Evans in her lecture, Invisible Animals, when she pointed out the rapid decline of orangutan species, stating, "Anthropomorphism is not always a good thing, as they can endanger non-human animals." This has been the case with orangutans, as they have become part of the rampant pet and zoo trade. Wildlife documentaries can have a positive effect on human emotions and thought processes as well, encouraging citizens to engage in environmental debates. One study from academics Dunn, Mills, and Veríssimo looked at evaluating the impact of the documentary series Blue Planet 2 on viewers' plastic consumption behaviours. They stated, "Our analysis did reveal that exposure to the show had a significant influence on increasing viewers' knowledge and environmental issues." However, they further stated, "Our results demonstrate the value of increased conservation messaging in media, creating a far-reaching environmental education opportunity. It also postulates that understanding alone cannot drive action," suggesting that wildlife documentaries educate viewers, but knowledge alone isn't enough to incite change amongst viewers. A study done by D. Keltner assessed how wildlife documentaries positively affect people's emotions and mental state. According to the psychologist, "I have long believed that nature in viewing sublime and beautiful nature in painting, film, and video shifts how we look at the world and humbles us, brings into focus our core goals, diminishes the petty voice of the self, and strengthens our nervous system." In the same study, a survey of 7,500 people was conducted, where participants were asked to view a short clip of news, a popular drama TV show, or a nature documentary. The results showed that those who watched the short film of the nature documentary were more likely to report increased feelings of joy, amazement, awe, and contentment, and curiosity. They also reported decreased feelings of stress, anxiety, anger, and fatigue. It's apparent that wildlife documentaries can provide positive emotions, as it's proven humans feel generally less stress and more happiness when engaging with nature. The same can be said for engaging with nature in a digital sense. However, with that being said, I think a diversification of wildlife documentaries in regards to film types is crucial to ensure the audience doesn't get a skewed/biased perspective of animals. This is further supported by C.S. Choate. There are innumerable factors that contribute to a person's impression of wild animals, but exposure to more than one style of nature film may help even out and broaden those perspectives. The representation of animals should be taken seriously, since the public relies more and more on nature films for knowledge about wildlife, suggesting as we increasingly become more detached from our natural world, wildlife documentaries play an ever more important role of educating its viewers. It's because of this we should consider how we capture and create wildlife documentaries. After concluding my research, I felt the question we need to ask ourselves as a society is, does the end justify the means? What I mean by this is, yes, wildlife documentaries have both for and against, but the real question is, how do we make them? How can we produce a product that is beneficial for all parties involved and not at the expense of another? Until next time, have fun, stay safe, goodbye.